Brilliant Sammy Baugh, though 36 years old and with 15 seasons of full competition behind him, gives no signs of nearing the end of his amazing career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
This is Harry Hog Football, the original Redskins fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about the debacle of a game between the Washington Redskins and the New Orleans Saints. And that's it. Our chances going forward. And this and much more live with just Aaron today. Yo. What's up, y'all? Coming at you, episode 456. Just got back from my trip to the Caribbean, where I was able to watch the game on my stateroom 13-inch television, although I don't know if that was a good idea or not. Yeah, and it was pretty horrible. Josh and John are pre-gaming, I believe. Couldn't make it. This was basically the only time I could squeeze it in right before the game. It's nice to see B&G Buns in the chat room. Let me know if there's any technical difficulties. And here, I'll type you a message right now. Anyway, I wrote some notes down, rewatched, the first 3 quarters of the game, wrote my notes so I could be short and succinct, and we can get settled in and watch this game in about 30 minutes. So here we go. B&G Buns, before I get any further, I feel so nervous doing this without Josh or John. It's like, it's all me. But anyway, before I go any further, I'd like to give a shout out to our benevolent sponsor, Desmond C. Lee. You can reach him at Desmond C. Lee 2 on Twitter, and he's active during every Redskins game. To the Saints game. Overall thoughts. We sucked. We totally sucked. In the words of Brian Mitchell.
Play some damn football. You sucked on the field today.
And that's it. B&G Buns has got a new job. He's a sports bookie now. Well, I don't know how much you're going to be taking on the Redskins. But anyway, the good news is, according to B&G Buns, that we are an underdog in this game. And judging by the patterns, let's look on the positive side here. Judging by the patterns, the Redskins win 1, lose 1 this season. So if you look at that, we should probably win this game, right? It's not a night game. It's not a Monday night game. We're not going up against anyone that's making records, except for maybe Josh Norman records for, crappiest coverage in the NFL, which I'll get to. But, we might have a chance in this one. I really don't know much about the Panthers this year because I haven't watched any of their games, to tell you the truth. But anyway, yeah, B&G Buns does have a point. Panthers barely won last week. Does that mean anything this week? I don't know, because we look like a college team last week, especially on defense. I'm going to go with the positives from the game first. Let me look through. Paul Richardson had an awesome catch at the 5-yard line between 2 defenders, and the defenders ran into each other and got injured. That was a positive. That was a nice play. Dustin Hopkins made a long 53-yard field goal in this game. That was good. I thought Daron Payne had a good game. He caused a fumble, had some hurries on Breeze. It resulted in one of his few incompletions in the game. The big thing was how bad the secondary played. You can't pick one player in the secondary, at least I can't, that actually had a good game. I mean, the one play that Dunbar had in the end zone, I was a little upset about because, Dunbar made a good play to break up the pass that Breeze was throwing to, who was he throwing that to? I don't remember. Hill, maybe? It doesn't matter. He was throwing it to somebody, and I think it was Smith, actually. And Dunbar breaks it up, and in the process of breaking up, to me, it was pass interference on the offense or face mask because they got in Dunbar's mask, pulled it, and Dunbar still made the play. No call. And the very next play, Dunbar gets a hold in the end zone. And so, I was like, yeah, Dunbar, having a good game. And then he broke it up even though you got held or got a face mask on you. And then he still on the very next play on third down, gives the Saints another first. And that was so frustrating in this game. There were so many times that we had them stopped and a penalty gave the Saints a first down. And as we all know, they didn't need any help, all right? Because, dude, it's the Saints. And Drew Brees was picking apart our defense and made them look horrible. Now, he does have the record for most yards and all this other, as we already heard, as they stopped the game for Drew Brees to enjoy his records against us. Yo, what's up? Alamo City's in the chat. I'm glad you're in pregame mode. I'm going to get through this podcast pretty quick, give you time to settle in before the game, because I got to go turn on my screen, get it going also. Where was I? I don't remember. Yeah. The penalties on third down, which, all right, let me start off in the first one. Norman holding on third down. We had him stopped. He gives up the first. Let me see. Next penalty was the Dunbar one. Can I not forget that when Kerrigan, as I predicted, Kerrigan would get a sack in this game, which is true. However, I did not predict that as Kerrigan was celebrating his first sack this season, that Nicholson would get an unnecessary roughness, which gives them another first down. I mean, we can't be doing that. The defense, the players on defense that I thought played well were Payne and Jonathan Allen. And at one point I saw Jonathan Allen actually getting mad on the sideline. It's like the young dudes are like, especially the ones that aren't used to losing and sucking, like the Alabama dudes, showed up to play. Josh Norman, I don't even know. Josh Norman gets benched. I thought he was getting benched. I didn't know he got benched, actually, watching on that little screen until John told me later that he got benched for a while. And then I found out that he gets benched for not because he sucked, which he did. He got benched for not paying attention to the coach. Dude, you're supposed to be a professional. You're making millions of dollars a year to suck, and you don't even listen to your boss when he's talking to you? Who does that? You can't go into work anywhere in this country and just put on earphones when your boss is having a meeting with you. What is that? I got one word for it. I'm pretty much done with Norman, personally. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but he's kind of acting like Deion Sanders, but let's face it, Deion Sanders was better than him before he got to us. Josh Norman, all I've seen him do is get in a fight with crybaby Beckham up in New York when he was on the Panthers. So, I mean, he got torched all over the place. Though there was the one play that broke Brees' record, and I don't know. Norman looked like he got burnt by 20 yards. I watched the play again in slow motion. I guess it was his fault, but it kind of looked like he was releasing, I forget who it was, Smith, I believe, to the safeties, and thought he had help because he was trying to cover two dudes underneath. I don't know. It probably was his fault, but I don't know. I can't say that I'm a professional at understanding the schemes and all that on defense. But the fact that he wouldn't even listen to Gruden? Dude, cut. Speaking of Gruden, what was going on in this game? Cut. I don't know. Peterson was playing hard. I think, did he get injured, guys, in the chat room? I noticed he wasn't in after the second. I guess he tweaked something. Probably on that play where Smith left him out to dry, where he took 20 seconds while he was just standing in the flat, and every single person on the defense saw that he was going to throw it to him in the flat, and he just got freaking housed. But he came back in after that. But I don't know if there was another injury later. A shoulder strain. Thanks, B&G Buns. Is he going to play? Do you guys know? I don't know. All right, sweet. He's going to play. So we need Peterson because I just saw that Chris Thompson and Jamison Crowder were out. So who do we got? Is Doxson playing? Not that he ever plays well, but is he playing? Who's our receivers? Maurice Harris and Brian Quick? I don't even know, dude. Anyway, yeah, I think if Gruden doesn't turn this around in a hurry, he's done. He's gone. I mean, I'm tired of it. I don't even care if we lose, right, a game. What I care about is when we look so pathetic and it's on national television and we just get blown out and look horrible. And that happens like every time we're on national television. If you don't live in an area where they show Redskins games all the time, it's the only time you see the Redskins are where they're at their freaking worst. They're worst. Yeah, I don't know who's playing wide receiver. Jordan Reed didn't show up in this game last week either until he had one catch I remember, but it was in garbage time. I mean, I'd rewatched the game up until 5 minutes left in the third quarter where the Saints just started playing prevent. It was garbage time for a quarter and a half. And I didn't even watch it after that. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Rod Gardner and Michael Westbrook starting today. Well, I don't know. Mr. Irrelevant. Sorry, I can't even talk. He got injured. I mean, I don't even know who's left. We need to have a strong running game. Let's talk about Alex Smith's play in this game for a second. What is it, 12:40? Okay. Alex Smith, I mean, I don't know. Where he started throwing the picks and getting hit and holding the ball, I mean, I don't know if people weren't getting open, but that's a problem considering that the Saints supposedly had one of the worst pass defenses in the league thus far, and we can't pass against them. I mean, I know we're more geared up to run first, supposedly. But if you can't find dudes open on one of the worst pass defense teams in the league, and our Redskins defense was supposed to be pretty good, and we were getting carved up everywhere, especially that Hill guy. Dude, that guy is a weapon. He's just a hoss. There was a few times I was like, why is Drew Brees running the ball? And then he just takes off. Anyway, B&G Buns is pointing out the positive. Alex Smith recovers from bad games quickly. Here's the one fear I have with Alex Smith against the Panthers defense. I know they have this Kuechly guy who's amazing linebacker, and he's good in coverage. We keep throwing all these little dump offs and flat passes. I think this dude's going to be charged up to nail those. I mean, it would be nice to see some little, I don't know, fake little out pass and then go deep, something to back him off. I don't know. Hopefully, because it never looks like to me that they actually study the other teams. I don't know. Gruden, I don't know what he does. But hopefully they're looking at ways to get past this team. Also on the bright side, dude, it looks like the NFC East is not going to be the strongest division this year. So we have a chance of making the playoffs if we can just bounce back from this game. Bibbs got in. He had a few runs. Alamo City. Stay positive, dude. Yeah, we're trying it. We're trying to stay positive. We'll see if we can bounce back today. Let's just, I mean, that's the game for the Saints. They were geared up for it. Of course, I was very angry by the time that Breeze broke that record, and I'm like in my stateroom, like, what? They can't just stop the game. Where's the penalty? Where's the penalty for delay a game and celebration and all this? I was like, why can't they wait till the end of the game to celebrate? And John's like, dude, he just broke a record. I was like, yeah, but you can't just stop the game. He's like, dude, it was a pretty big record. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm just mad. I don't know how you guys felt about that. At that time, I was just mad. Like, man, that's a penalty. But I think they did get a celebration penalty because they kicked it from the 20 or something like that. But the thing that made me mad about it was, why did they kick from the 20 on a celebration penalty instead of, they tried a 2-point conversion at that point. So I was like, shouldn't that 2-point conversion be like 10 yards back? Because I thought that was unfair. But anyway, I thought it was a little bit of WWE showmanship there on the part of the NFL. I thought it would have been more classy if they just like let it go and then maybe they celebrated it at halftime or right at the end of the game. But whatever. The NFL's, the NFL. Yeah, I'm with B&G Buns. I thought the game should just continue. I thought it was kind of actually disrespectful to the Redskins, but you know what? We got freaking handed to us. But not today, dudes. We're going to win this. All right, 12:42. I'm going to go through my games and kicks here. I got to do the music and stuff. This is so weird without John. All right, hold on. I got to do this, and I got to do this. What do I do first? I do games first when we lose. Okay. And the music. Here it is. All at the same time.
And now,
Look at that move on the screen.
and ever-elusive Game Ball Award.
All right, Game Ball Award this week. It was tough, you know. There was a lot of negatives in this game. I'm going to have to give my game ball to Deron Payne. I thought he played strong in the middle, even though they got some runs going. He had that fumble, caused the fumble that we got back. He had a few pressures on Breeze that made him throw some incompletions. And I think he's going to be a good player for a long time. So Deron Payne is who my game ball is going to. B&G Buns throwing in his game ball. Alamo City, if you want to throw yours in here. B&G Buns is giving his to AP for not giving up. And, yeah, AP he was running strong. He was running strong in this game. He had some nice runs, as usual. So if we can just keep him healthy, you know, like they're going to be the Panthers are going to know today that we don't have receivers. You know, it's going to be keying on AP, you know. Chris Thompson, I thought, had a good game too. He had some strong runs. He wasn't giving up. Of course, he's injured today and out. I'm not sure why. If you guys know why Thompson and Crowder are out, let me know. Yeah. Any game ball from Alamo City? No? He said he's numbing himself up before the game. He might not be able to type anymore. We're at T-minus 15 to the game. Last chance for Alamo City. He doesn't give one. Okay, that's fine. I'm good with that. Chris Thompson is out because of his ribs and knee. Okay. Wow. Crowder is knee. Okay. And I want to give a mini game ball for that catch by Richardson because that was pretty amazing. Jonathan Allen, I thought about giving mine to him also, Alamo City, for getting mad and yelling at the teammates. He was fired up, and maybe he got him lit up. But anyway, let's go ahead and go into the kicks. Music.
It's time for this week's Kicking the Balls Award.
This week's Kicking the Balls Award, of course, brought to you by Ritapoo. For all your septic needs, choose Ritapoo. My Kicking the Balls Award, it's not even close. I'm going, who did I go with last week? I think it was Norman. I'm going with Norman again. He's got to play better than this. I mean, even the media has caught on to it. You heard Booger McFarland and Charlie Casserly last week saying that Norman is not good. And he basically needs to prove it otherwise to me. You know? That's all I have to say about that. I don't know if Doxson's back from his turf toe or whatever Dion injury he has. I hope he's back today, but I don't know why that just popped into my head. Bam. Oh, because I saw Doxson on the screen here. That's why I can't there. Anyway, it was like squirrel, Doxson. But anyway, yeah. So my kick is going to Norman and B&G Buns, of course, for the third week in a row to Gruden. He thinks he's lost control of the team. Well, hopefully we can get it back because we're not out of it in this division. I think we're technically still in first. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somehow. But we got to win this game today. Alamo City also giving his Kicking the Balls Award to none other than Jay Gruden. I also want to give a secondary kick in the balls because I thought this was huge. A huge turnaround in the game. And that's to Nicholson, Monte Nicholson, for that stupid unnecessary roughness after we had him sacked on third down. I mean, it was horrible. I mean, we just kept kicking ourselves and shooting ourselves in the foot or kicking ourselves in the balls. Even we couldn't afford to do that against the Saints. And the offense was, we need receivers, dude, or someone to throw to these guys. I don't know if they're not getting open or what, but it's ineffective. Anyway, okay, yes. So let me get this out of the way so we can go watch this game. I got one more thing to do. Don't think I forgot it, because I know B&G Buns is reminding me like a stage manager over here. It's time for the precarious predictions. Precarious predictions. I think it's going to be a bounce back game. My precarious prediction thing is not working so well here. Anyway, I'll fix that later. Precarious prediction, bounce back game for the Redskins. It's not going to be a barn burner, at least for the Saints. I'm thinking the Redskins are going to bounce back, and they're going to win this game 21-17, which is going to be AP with a touchdown. Jordan Reed's going to bounce back and have a touchdown, and we're going to see a touchdown by Capri Bibbs. Capri Bibbs for the third touchdown, 21-17. One of the touchdowns from the Panthers is going to come off of a turnover, a pick six by Luke Kuechly. And I don't know how they're going to get their other touchdowns. If you're like John, though, he cannot stand the Panthers, especially ever since we were at their stadium and I almost got kicked out. But that's another story that we'll talk about another time. But guess what, dudes? It's 12:49. You have just enough time to get into your room or wherever you are, watch the game. On that note, oh, that's the wrong music. On that note, I'll talk to you guys next week, hopefully with Josh and John. Hail to the Redskins. And as always, if you see a Cowboys fan, choke 'em.